citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Hello, gentlemen.
What's
How's
up?
life?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, Jesse, welcome to have you again. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, excited to be hanging with you guys.
Nice.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about Chicago and Portland right off the bat here. And Jesse, you're here simply because you're the only one of us with any kind of experience in military type stuff. And it seems like we're getting kind of militaristic in Chicago, especially. So anything that you have to add here, or correct us if we say something that's ignorant to anybody who's served. Feel free to jump in on that. Um, what do you got going over there, Doc?
I'm just queuing it up.
Okay. Well, so real quick, Chicago and Portland are going to be the subject of this first little bit. It seems like what's going on in each city is a little bit different. Docs, you had one video for Portland. I haven't seen a lot of Portland recently. I've only been seeing Chicago. What are you seeing in Portland?
Dude, I'm loving what Portland's doing. They are having so much fun. And let me just play this video to show you what's going on here.
Yes, we're in costumes to show just how ridiculous that is. It's not a war zone. The only time it's a war zone is when they come down and abuse us protesters out here fighting for our community. As you just witnessed, they come down, they shoot pepper balls, they grab people.
Let ICE do their job. Wait. It's just a Saturday night in Portland, am I right? I'm here tonight because this is literally actually bananas. Like, that we have these guys in full military uniforms, costumes basically, coming out because the President of the United States, the highest office that we used to all have respect for, is saying that this is a war-torn, blown-out buildings.
Yeah, so I love it.
Seems like they're having fun there. I did see the one thing I saw from Portland is apparently I didn't know this. Apparently, this is a yearly thing, but there's like a naked bike ride thing through the city, and they pulled up to the protest. And at first, I saw like some titties, and I was like, "Oh, like topless. This is neat." And then I saw some full frontal male nudity riding bicycles. Which my only thing there, Jesse, you ride bikes more than I do. Riding bikes with no pants on seems dangerous. I don't like just for your man parts. Am I wrong on that?
Depends on the seat you
It
have,
takes
really.
a brave soul.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to keep all my stuff together and protect it up front, but yeah, whatever.
No, it's good. I mean, it's ridiculous that they're there to begin with. And second of all, like they're causing the problem. Like Portland is it's very peaceful protesting and ICE is actually causing the issues. So I like that they're making fun of it.
The judge in Portland and the judge in Chicago both made that point in their most recent ruling, saying that to the extent that there is any civil unrest, it's being caused by the federal troops, agents, whoever it is that have come to these cities. So both the judges have said that.
Yeah. And I mean, why are they even there? This is ridiculous.
Well, they're there because I think Trump wants a fight. You guys tell me if you see any different, but I think Trump's probably a little upset that it hasn't boiled over yet. The fact that we haven't had a full on like shots are fired in the streets. I think he's wishing that would hurry up and happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I 100% think you're right.
Jesse, have you seen anything that's going on in Chicago over the last couple of days? Because that's where it seems to be getting a little bit more tense.
I don't think Chicago's handling it quite like Oregon, but or Portland rather, but I think they're still kind of keeping to the same script for the most part. I always mispronounce his name. What's the Governor
Pritzker?
Pritzker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's kind of, let the word out that he wants to see peaceful protesting. He doesn't want anybody to be fighting back. He doesn't want to keep everybody strong with their willingness to protest. But Chicago's a different beast than Portland. But
Definitely. And really, I think the biggest difference is more minorities. Like they're able to go in Chicago into like very like minority heavy neighborhoods and wreak havoc there. Where in Portland, I've never been to Portland, but I envision it being pretty white. Have you guys ever been out there? Am I wrong on that?
I haven't been.
Uh, Brother used to live out there for a while, and yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of music, it's a lot of food, it's a lot of hippies and homeless, and it's kind of like in Austin, Texas, for the most part.
Gotcha. Well, the first clip, and I got a couple clips of what's going on in Chicago, but I've seen some egregious ones. There was the lady that worked for WGN we talked about last week. We didn't show the tape, but she was like a 40 to 45-year-old lady, a little bit overweight, that they claimed she threw something in an ice car and like tackled her, roughed her up, threw her in the back of a van. Tricia McLaughlin, the head of or the assistant DHS secretary, she came out and said, "Oh, she committed a felony and we're fully going to press charges." And then an hour later, they let her go with no charges filed, which leads me to believe she didn't throw anything at them. But that was the most egregious up until this weekend. Check this one out real quick from, I think this was on Saturday in Chicago.
Yeah! Hit and run! Hit and run! That's a hit and run! Hit and run! Hit and run! That's a hit and run! Hit and run! Hit and run! Look, hey, watch out with that weapon! That weapon! Yo, watch out! What's wrong with you? You hit it! You hit her! Yo! What's wrong? You hit her! You hit her! You guys hit her! You guys hit her! What's wrong with y'all? Y'all bust a whole U-turn in the middle of the street! Y'all hit her! Y'all on camera! Leave her alone! She ain't even do shit! She trying to go to work! She's trying to go to work!
What the fuck?
No, what? Y'all some crazy. Y'all got no heart, for real. No heart. No heart. She's a female.
Get off of her right now.
You guys hit her. How you guys gonna arrest her?
Get off.
You guys hit her. Man, how y'all gonna arrest her, man? God, bogus as fuck.
Get off her.
You hit her. You guys hit her. You guys hit her. Whole lawsuit right there.
Believe that. I'm telling you. Don't get your issue. Keep fucking around in Chicago. Keep fucking around in Chicago. Hey, baby girl, you good. Don't worry about it.
Stop resisting.
Don't worry about it. We need that information, bro.
God, bogus as fuck.
Go ahead,
What
Jesse.
the actual fuck?
Yeah. Have you not seen that yet?
No.
Yeah, that she was a U.S. citizen, not like a legal resident or anything. She's a citizen. She was born here. Based off the beginning of that video, to me it clearly looks like they swerved into her. Somebody in the video said they had done a U-turn and hit her. Either way, she appeared to be driving in her lane. That like when I saw that, that's maddening. Jesse, had you seen that yet?
Unfortunately, I have, man. It's making my blood boil. Yeah, more and more every day I'm seeing these same videos, and yeah, just like you said, did a U-turn in the middle of the street. People were already pre-recording, hit her for no reason, drag her ass out of the car, some little female, and 3 white boys imposing their will. It's fucking upsetting.
That's what I'm trying to think, because I'm sure that somewhere somebody's going to say, like, well, she should have complied and got out of the car. But if I was driving and a car rammed me, and then guys wearing like tactical shit with assault rifles got out and then walked up to my car, tried to open the door and were yelling to get out, I don't think I would. I'd be panicked right there. And I don't know, if I were her, I would have tried to drive off probably. She probably would have got shot had she. But like, I can't imagine if you're just driving along and all of a sudden an unmarked vehicle hits you and dudes jump out with guns. Like,
I mean, I have a glove in the glove or in the center console, and shit, if something like that happened to me, I don't know if I wouldn't go into my center console and grab that thing and start pointing it.
yeah, it's got to be frightening. So that happened Saturday, and at that moment, I realized, I was like, okay, we're a week away from things spilling over here. Like, I don't see how things don't get somebody's going to get shot, and we've already had one guy Apparently was an illegal, and they ran up on him in plain clothes. This was 2 weeks ago. They ran up on him in plain clothes and started trying to open his door, and he drove off. And apparently, one of the officers kind of got hit by the side of the car. Now, the officer popped up immediately and said he was fine. Like on video on his body cam, he said he's fine. But they hit that officer, and then everybody opened fire on the car, and they shot and killed him. Now, he was illegal, but they're saying, well, he struck a law enforcement with his car. Well, the law enforcement was plain clothed and walked up with a gun and started trying to get him out of his car.
Yeah.
100 out of 100 people are going to drive off in that situation, panicked. Like, you're not going to open the door for the guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the same one where he had done just that, but later on his story had to do with him being dragged?
Yeah.
Then
His
opened
initial
fire?
his initial story was that he got hit and dragged by the car, and they had to open fire to save his life. But then the body cam footage came out, and like immediately after it was all over, they walked up to the guy that claimed he got dragged, and they were like, "Hey, you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." He kind of barely hit me, or he said something like that, and it was like, okay, so we're lying too on top of it all. So
And I think at that point he was kind of pointing to the body cam, saying like, "Hey, like, don't question me,
Yeah.
don't interact with me. The camera's rolling."
he said, "Yeah, I'm good." He said, "Yeah, I'm good." He barely hit me or something like that. And then you could like see the moment where he was like, "Oh shit, I'm wearing a body cam." And that's when he was like, you know, let's end it there. So I think as soon as he said I'm good, he realized like I shouldn't have said that. But anyhow,
do these
go
body
ahead.
cams have like I'm guessing they're locked so that you can't throw away the evidence, or what's going on there?
So every department has different body cams. There's several different ones. I just talked to a cop about this 2 nights ago, so got the lowdown. The kind that the Tulsa police use, there's a big button in the center, and you got to tap it 2 times to make it start recording. It's recording constantly, but when you tap it 2 times, it goes like back in time for 2 minutes, and it has everything from 2 minutes before you hit the button through. If you ever watching a video online of a police pursuit or whatever, and for the first couple minutes of the video there's no sound, and then all of a sudden the sound kicks on, that time where there's no sound, that's the time before they hit the button to record. Anyhow, every department has different policies as to whether or not, like, if you forget to hit record. And the cop I was talking to made some very valid points where if suddenly you get like jumped, oh shit, and you don't think to hit your camera. So there are plenty of times where you don't turn on your camera, but it's not your fault. The only time you get punished is if it becomes a repetitive thing where like, hey, you keep having complaints and it turns out your camera wasn't on. But that's the only, other than that, if something goes on. And he said the one time you'll always get in trouble is your camera is supposed to last 12 hours per charge, and it's your responsibility to charge it before your shift. And if your camera was not on because you failed to charge it, you will automatically get in trouble. Other than that, they basically have to prove intent of like, did you purposely not turn on your camera, or is it reasonable to think that this happened so suddenly that you wouldn't have had time to turn on your camera, basically?
Well, and this is just an indicative problem with our police departments here in America, is that we have to have these body cams.
Yeah. The cop I was talking to, and I've heard this before, but he was saying like most cops realize that the body cams are there to protect them from being wrongfully accused of this or that. So if you're a good cop, you like having the body cam because it protects you from anybody trying to make some shit up that you supposedly did. Only the bad cops are the ones that don't like the body cam, and they don't really talk about it, according to him. So
okay,
anyway,
that makes sense.
So after, I think this is gonna be a compilation of the last 2 days, but it's ratcheting up in Chicago, is all I'm gonna say. Check this out real quick.
Fuck out of here! Real Americans don't want you.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
He's American.
He's a citizen! He's a citizen!
Why are you running? Because you saw you like.
He's a citizen! He's a citizen! That's my brother-in-law!
Get the fuck away from me! You don't know what's going on, so get the fuck back! Back up! Back the fuck up! Back in that car, man.
Herman, get back! Alma.
Where is she at?
I don't know.
Yeah.
In that last video, real quick, did you see at the very end? There's a gold car trapped on the right hand side of the video,
Uh-huh.
and you see a lady get out and jump into the back seat as soon as the tear gas starts going. She grabs her infant child and is running. She just got trapped there. They're launching tear gas at cars. Some of them just happen to get stuck in the traffic there. Like, I gotta wonder. I don't. First of all, Jesse, do you have any clue? Was that smoke or was that tear gas? Is there an easy way to tell? Have you got any experience with this stuff?
It's hard to tell by the look of it, but just based on what they've been stating on the media, it's probably some kind of CS gas or tear gas.
That's weird that we're
Yeah.
using that in residential neighborhoods. There was also I think it was in Chicago, but they tear gassed a couple protesters, and it was right next to an elementary school, and the school had to go like on lockdown because the tear gas was making its way through the vents or air conditioning or whatever into the school. A little ridiculous.
So
Yeah.
I might be.
It
Go ahead.
seems like, I mean, they're carrying ARs. I'm guessing those are pepper ball guns. I'm hoping they're pepper ball guns.
I noticed that too because in previous videos for the past couple of weeks, if they're armed, they have like a gun on their hip. They're not walking around with what appears to be ARs. Suddenly over the weekend, they all got helmets, tear gas masks, and like what appear to be ARs. And there was one at the beginning, at the beginning of the second video. There was one guy with what looked like an AR, and then the guy beside him had a weird looking gun. And I want to say, just from speculation, that weird looking gun was probably some kind of a pepper ball gun or a tear gas launcher. The AR looked like an AR. I don't know if they make pepper ball guns that look like ARs, but that looked like an AR to me.
But what escalated that? I mean, what escalated? How did it get to that? Is my like nobody? I'm guessing nobody laid hands on one of the ICE officers, and I feel like that's the only thing that should escalate that to that scenario where they're throwing tear gas and they're pushing people against the wall and they're putting people on the ground. Like, there's no reason for them to be escalating it that high without somebody putting hands on them. And if it's somebody, then they take care of that person. They don't tear gas the whole neighborhood and some lady with a baby in the car. Like, this is
So I got two
That's tough.
thoughts on that real quick. First of all, every video that I've seen, and I'm sure there's different situations for each of these, but the videos I've seen, they end up tackling somebody to the ground and trying to arrest them, and then some people will come rushing in with their cell phone cameras and get right up next to them and start trying to record and yelling at the ICE officers. And
Yeah.
then there's always a couple more officers that come flying in and start immediately pushing, get back, get back, get back. And then it becomes a little bit of a scrum of who's pushing who.
Yeah, but it's not really a scrum because those people filming aren't touching the officers. They're not pushing
Yeah.
back at the officers, right?
But that's where I'm thinking that the lack of training is a big part of this because they've been hiring people
Yeah.
off the street to be on ice, and everything I'm seeing is a lack of training. You have people that are scared. Like if you're on the ground and you're trying to arrest somebody, and all of a sudden there's citizens coming at you, I'll bet there's some panic that sets in, and those are the ones you've seen that like pull their guns on people like really prematurely.
Yeah.
Where I would like to think if it was a trained police officer or just someone with the proper training, they wouldn't be that quick to panic and use force. And that's what I'm seeing is a use of force because of panic. Is that kind of what y'all are seeing?
I would say a little bit of that. Plus, I just think it's the direction of, the president. I think he's been very explicit about, if somebody is in your face, what is it? He said, they spit, we hit.
Spit, we hit. Yeah. And he also, in his first term, he had that when he was talking to the police union, he had that whole thing where he was saying, when you're putting them in the cop car and you hold their head to get them, you don't have to hold their head. You can slam it in. Remember, he said something like that. It was in his first term, but it's kind of his idea of policing is you're like, yeah, just be rough with them. They're criminals.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's one thing, and like I don't want to bring race into something, but like race is clearly a part of this. We're going after brown people. It seems like, and they're arresting a lot of black people too in the process. And I don't really
What
get
gives
what's
you
going
that
on with
idea?
that.
They're going after race. Is that
No, but here's my thing. Tom Segura, we all love Tom Segura, right?
Yeah.
He has a bit from a couple episodes ago where he's talking about like white guy loyalty and like if you're a white guy and you see a white guy about to get beat up, Like, there's no part of you that wants to jump in defense of a fellow white. Like, we don't have white guy loyalty. Whereas black people, if they see a black guy getting beat up, even if they don't know him, they're like, oh, I have to go aid him, and it's commendable for the black race. There's a part of me, we're seeing videos of Mexicans, brown people, Mexicans getting treated really shittily. And we have, like, there hasn't been a mass, oh crap, the citizens are fighting back now. It hasn't happened at all yet. This is, like I said, I'm trying to be delicate with this, but like, if it was black people being targeted, do you think that everybody would be as calm about it and not fighting back than the fact that it's Mexicans?
No, I think the fact that they have guns and that they're police officers, and if you do anything, that's holding everybody back a little bit.
But think about the Ferguson rallies from 2000, or rallies, protests from 2015, or like I should call them the Ferguson riots is what they were. But 2015, like the cops had like SWAT, like those big what are they called, MRAP vehicles, the big armored army tanks, and they were fighting back there. The summer of 2020, the George Floyd protests, like there were cops and they were fighting back. There's
A little
something,
bit, yeah.
and maybe it's because we know that Trump's the president and he will authorize them to use deadly force. Like, I don't know what it is, but something feels different about this time where I'm kind of shocked. Like, based off all the videos out there, like, where are the people? Like, and not just where are the people in Chicago, like, where are the people across the US? Where are the Republicans? Where are the don't tread on me Republicans that don't want a police state or a surveillance state? Like, this is long-standing Republican ideology here, and they seem to be totally fine with what's going on. Like, at what point is America going to be like, hey, this isn't cool? And Tim Dillon, I've heard say this on his podcast. Joe Rogan's kind of talked about like how he's not cool with, going after gardeners and whatnot. But overall, like the treatment, like the way this is being handled, I haven't heard anybody of note, a podcaster, right-wing figure, haven't heard any of them say anything about it.
And you're talking about just the nature in which they're handling the individuals.
Yeah, the when they're running in and tackling people for no reason.
See, I've seen a lot of commentary on that. I feel like CNN more recently has had a couple bits on that. When it had to do with the Chicago, what was that? The apartment complex that they took over, the Black Hawk helicopters rappelling down military tactical.
So, but notice you just said CNN, and I'll bet whoever else you're going to list is going to be left-wing-ish. I'm saying specifically, where is the right wing? The people, the Republicans that are the don't tread on me's, where are they at? The Trump voters.
To that point, and this wouldn't be one of those people, but definitely a right-wing Republican politician talking about, well, it started off with the host from the CNN show talking about, kids in zip ties. Like, is that even necessary? Do we have to clear 100% of the people out of their beds and out of their apartments in the middle of the night? The Republican, on the other hand, is like, well, what do you want us to do otherwise? I mean, that's the safest thing we can do to protect the ICE agents. And the CNN host kept going back to, I hear what you're saying. Like, yes, you should, in essence, protect your federal employees, even though in this case, they're a bunch of fucking dipshit racists. However, for 50 years plus, like law enforcement, SWAT, they know how to take over a building and protect the innocent in the process. Like, we've never gone in to a raid and just fuck everybody over. Especially, innocent civilians, legals, kids. That's the part that gets me, is it's being talked about. I think there's enough out there to where the general public's starting to get an idea that they're overly aggressive with their force. But I just don't see why everybody's not talking about it. I mean, it's absurd that there's not a big brother out there trying to do something about this, because it's getting worse by the day.
Well, and overly aggressive is a good term for that, because I mean, they could have just knocked on. I mean, how many people do they arrest in that? I mean, that was obviously a training exercise when they're using helicopters and they're coming down into the building and they're zip tying everybody. Like, that was a training exercise.
They were using flashbangs, like busting down doors, throwing in a flashbang and running. No clue who's in there. No clue if it's men, women, children. Bust open the door, throw in a flashbang, go get them. Zip tie them and get them out of there.
How many illegals did they get out of that raid?
37 is what they said.
See, they say that, and this is me, just my opinion, right? This isn't based on anything but my best guess. Okay, how many organizations within the federal government have had the head of that organization replaced by somebody that's going to broadcast fake numbers? Right?
Oh,
yeah. All of them.
The fact that they said 37 and that information was released I mean, right after the raid. The raid happened at 3 in the morning, or at least people were getting released at 3. Yeah, first thing in the morning, 5, 6, 7 a.m., you already had, oh, well, we got 37 of whatever that cartel was.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did
you're
we get
correct.
any of them?
I don't trust any of the numbers coming out of this
Or that is
administration.
cartel.
Yeah. Real quick, because we're talking about Jesse, you mentioned Big Brother a minute ago, but the police state that we're currently living in is turning into the surveillance state. Like me and Docs have talked about Palantir a little bit, Oracle, Larry Ellison's company. This is just a clip. Anna Kasparian from Young Turks got in trouble for making fun of Larry Ellison. I'm not going to play that clip. It was pretty funny. But here's a little bit of.
Delightful.
Oh, she's great. Here's a little bit of Larry Ellison though, real quick.
Because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. The first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model.
Little scary, right? Citizens are going to be on their best behavior because basically AI will be watching everything you do. Isn't that like, aren't there movies about that? Minority Report comes to mind. I feel like there's other ones. Like, we have given Larry Ellison and who's the guy that's always wet? The guy, the
Peter
Antichrist
Thiel.
guy, Peter Thiel. We've given them like all of our data to use for their AI. And Palantir was the big boogeyman at first, but Larry Ellison's scaring me just as much. Like,
And yet they couldn't stop that school shooting in Colorado in Evergreen.
no, that guy was posting about it on Facebook in advance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like, get your shit. If you're going to do that, you better make our society like crime free.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't want it to happen. I don't think, and it's weird because the right wing has always been against this state, except for like George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. I mean, they slipped that under the
Yeah, I was
rug.
going to say the Patriot Act was like,
Yeah.
if you want to look at like citizens losing their privacy in the past 30 years, like there was a whole bunch that happened under W. Bush having to do with the Patriot Act, and then we kind of went along for a while, and now it seems like the second bunch of it is happening as we speak, like behind the curtains with Palantir and Oracle and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're very much becoming a monitored state.
when I'm sending you videos, Docs, I'm having to put thought into what I'm putting in the subject line of the email because, like, I'm worried things are going to get flagged. If I say, like, oh, Antifa this or whatever, like, that's going to get flagged, and somebody in an office in DC is going to be looking at this email now. Like, that scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the recent release of golly, I think they were in the Senate just in the last like 24 hours going over the playbook of what they're doing and how they're doing it step by step to convert where we are as a government into a dictatorship.
I
And they're
didn't
just
see.
going line by line.
Was it Project 2025 basically that they were reading, or was it something different?
I mean, they were really just going off of the current. I mean, yes, there are some parallels in that, but parallels
Gotcha.
only because reality is now feeding into 2025.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, it's happening. And like, I feel like a lot of America I feel like they're stunned right now. Like, I don't want to say they've given up, but like, it's all happening. And I feel like everybody's kind of looking around like, whoa, you see what's happening here? But like, nobody's rallying the troops. Like, hey, we can't let this happen. And it's confusing the heck out of me.
Well, this
So-
weekend is No Kings protest again.
I'm going to the one in Tulsa. Doc, you going to your local No Kings?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Jesse, you representing in Texas?
I plan on representing. That said, you hear the spin they're putting on that, right? And the
Yeah,
propaganda they're projecting out about No Kings is now being referred to as
The Hate America rally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which my buddy Matt, who Jesse, you got to go to the last No Kings protest with, he wants to make a sign that says, I'm anti-pro-fascist, or I'm anti-pro-Tifa, something like that. I thought it was a fun way to not say Antifa. I'm anti-pro-Tifa.
Oh, Tifa. Okay.
I'm against pro-fascism. Don't say the word Antifa.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
So anyhow, that's what's going on in Portland. We've got just a couple minutes left on this, but what's you guys' best prediction on how many more days or weeks we go till this becomes a problem, till people are getting shot and it's a lockdown?
I mean, he wants the Insurrection Act to be available to him, I guess.
And it looks like Chicago is going to be the place to give it to him because Portland is not gonna. Chicago.
Yeah, and I think it's just the people of Chicago are different they're a different breed of people than they are in Portland, right? Like
Yeah.
the Portland people are more like just said hippies and Pacific Northwesterners, and then you got the Chicago. They're like hard people. They got to live through that winter and the cold wind. Um, they're hard people. They're not gonna take shit from anybody.
So
Like
what's your
trying to do
timeline prediction
before what happens?
before he gets what he wants and he can either send in the active duty army or declare insurrection, whichever way he wants to do it.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Jesse, what's your thoughts?
I'd say about the same. I don't think the Chicago civilians are going to do much of anything different, but I do think ICE is just going to escalate further.
Yeah. I think you guys are probably right. If we can make it 2 more weeks without a big spark happening, I'll be shocked. But I feel like, they use the word powder keg, but Chicago's a powder keg right now. And one little spark is going to be, it's going to be a problem, is all I'm going to say. So,
Yeah.
all right, so there's one last video that I did have for you guys in Chicago, and I thought this was brilliant. We need lawyers on our side, is all I'm going to say. There was a lawyer that showed up to a Chicago protest and kind of took the bull by the horns, literally took the bullhorn. But check out this video real quick.
Understand what state law you are invoking. Please be clear in your instructions. These peaceful protesters are exercising their First Amendment right. They do not understand your order. They do not understand your statements. You, state troopers, are an unlawful assembly right now because you're impinging on our First Amendment right to free expression. We do not understand your instructions. You have weapons. We do not have weapons. You are invoking, you appear to be threatening violence. We're not threatening violence. You are exacerbating the tension. We are lowering the tension. We don't understand what you're doing. We don't understand why you're doing it. We don't understand how to comply with your orders. You said to disperse. Where do you want us to go? Why can't we exercise our First Amendment rights? Where is the Commander Owen or State Trooper Owen? Where are you? You need to be clear. You need to explain.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. When I saw that clip, I was like, how do we get a lawyer at every protest just to protect the First Amendment rights of the people protesting?
So did you watch anything after that?
I did actually, and that one ended up really good. I don't know who it might have been, that Commander Owen he was asking about. He ended up walking over, talking to them, and they basically agreed on, we're going to let you protest until this time, but there has been a curfew. They let him stay past the curfew, but he said, you guys can stay till this time, but at that point, we don't want to hurt you. It was very civil. It was like, we don't want to hurt you. We do want you guys to be able to express your First Amendment, but there has been a city ordained curfew for protests. You're already past it, but we're going to let you go a little bit longer. It went well. Like, in my opinion, that's how it should end.
Well, people stayed longer than the curfew after, and they pushed people off the streets. That's what I saw, and they arrested some guy that got trampled. Yeah,
was it that same protest? 'Cause I did not see
yeah,
that.
that's the one that started in front of the ICE facility, and they pushed everybody back, and then yeah, and I didn't see that part, but then I saw the aftermath where they were pushing people back, and like I saw one guy got trampled. And then they picked him up and arrested him.
Is there any chance this was two separate protests, or do you think it was definitely?
It could have been, but I'm pretty sure that's the same background that I saw.
Okay, it might have been two different days. We might have seen back-to-back days, because what I saw seemed pretty definitive. Like at the end, they were like shaking hands and like gonna leave now, and it seemed very cordial. So maybe I don't know which would have come first. Maybe it was the same day, but overall, I think we got a lot of protesters out there that don't fully understand their rights, and they say, there are times where I see the protesters say really stupid shit like, I got a right to blah, 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 blah. And I say, you actually don't have that right. So it'd be great if there was somebody out there kind of informing the protesters of, here's what you do have the right to do and here's what you don't, to keep them safe. Like, that's what we need.
So every protester needs a lawyer with a megaphone.
Just one lawyer per protest is what I'm saying. And everybody needs to listen to that lawyer, because he knows what's going to keep you out of jail. He can tell you exactly how to go all the way up to the line, but not over the line where you're going to go to jail. That's perfect.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we need to get more lawyers on the side. I feel like that could happen.
Who's going to fund that?
Yeah. Ooh, hey, sorry. For real, last thing. This is a fun note, but all three of us grew up in the same Catholic church, right? At this point, which one of us would be willing to say we're still Catholic? No, none of us. Okay. I have long ago said I'm not Catholic anymore. I gotta say, there's only one church standing up to the ICE stuff, and it's the Catholic Church. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this, but the Pope has been very outspoken in the last couple of weeks, and he's been
Yeah.
calling on the cardinals and bishops in America to be vocal about what's going on with these ICE raids and whatnot. And the other day in Chicago, I don't remember what church it was, but a Catholic church at the end of the service, the priest invited everyone to follow him as he walked down to the ICE facility that was just down the street, and then him along with all his clergy went up to the door and basically said, "We would like to come in." It was on a Sunday morning. He said, "We'd like to come in and offer a service to the people that are in prison." Most Hispanics are Christian and Catholic. Like that's just kind of how it goes. And they would not let them in. And then the priest sat there and prayed on the front doors or front step of the ICE facility. That's awesome. Like there was a part of me that was kind of like, yeah, Catholics. Like I kind of for a moment I was Catholic again. I don't know if I really am, but like at least I don't understand the very religious people that can look at this and like be cheering on ICE. Like that makes no sense to me.
No.
Well, it depends the religious people you're talking about, right? You talk about the far right Baptist, and they're all going to hell. They shouldn't be here in the first place.
I have docs normally trashing certain things on here. I know I got Jesse trashing religion. This is awesome.
It depends on the individual and the religion, but I've married into a family that a part of it is incredibly open-minded, and the universe is more about, where the religion falls versus some of these Baptists where everybody goes to church on Sunday, but as soon as they get out of church, they're posting on Facebook, you know, this about the gays and this about, different races. And it's like, come on, man. Just because we all don't have light skin doesn't mean we're all going to hell.
Not the most tolerant people I've ever seen.
Well, the thing I've been seeing a lot lately is that, like, if you really follow Jesus's teachings, like, you should be speaking out against a lot of what's going on. And they're not. They're actually for what's going on. And I mean, Jesus was a socialist. Like, he's probably an Antifa.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Jesus would have been Antifa.
So Jesus had, and I was trying to find the actual quote, but Jesus said a lot about welcoming, showing compassion, welcoming all people, including strangers or foreigners. Like that was said a couple different times throughout the Bible. It doesn't specifically say immigrants, but yeah, like there's a big part of me, and I've never been able to rectify this, but like if you would consider yourself to be pretty religious in America, you are a Donald Trump voter for the most part. Not all, but I'm going to say the vast majority. And like I can't in my head I can't make it jive where like here's what the Bible says and all the people that love this book think Donald Trump is awesome. Like I wish somebody could explain it to me in a way I understand. But and though the one thing I do get is like if abortion is their number one thing, then they're going to vote for the Republican every time. So I get that. But if you took abortion out of the cards, we're not counting that right now. Like what else? Like what do you see in this guy that makes you think he's the most Christian? I've had people tell me that he's the most Christian president ever. Jesus picked him. And like what?
So here's my theory is like if you're Christian, you follow Jesus's word, right? Okay. No matter what information comes out, you're following Jesus' word. And they look at Trump as another person to follow.
So it's people that are in search of a leader, in search of someone.
It's people who are in search of a leader, and they want somebody to lead them and to be their leader. And that's why, like, when some of these Trump supporters are asked, like, do you want Trump to be a dictator? They say yes. Like, and it's like, what? Like, that is the opposite of what America was founded on, was dictatorship.
Doc,
that's why we have no King's protests.
You are making incredible sense right now, Docs. Like I've been wondering for like 7 years now, like how? But you just pretty much laid it out in a way that I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks for that. I don't know how I never noticed that.
Yeah, they just want a leader. They just want somebody to tell them what to do. They don't want to think for themselves.
Scary. I think I'm gonna go to Catholic Church on Sunday, guys. I'm gonna go to No Kings or the Hate America rally on Saturday, and then follow it up with Catholic Church on Sunday. So it'll be a great weekend.
You're gonna walk out with a MAGA hat.
No, make sure to show up with like a fire retardant jacket or something, man. They'll need you spontaneously combusting upon entry into the church.
He's gonna strike me down right on the steps. I can feel it. So. Okay.
I went to Catholic church not too long ago. I just walked into one. The bells were ringing. And I was like, I'm going to go in. And I sat through a whole mass, and it was great. I didn't burn.
Because we all grew up in the same Catholic church, I have a quick story. But this is 10 years ago. I'm laughing. This is a bad. this is a sad story at the beginning, but my wife, somebody she went to high school with, had died. So she asked me to go to the funeral with her, and I was like, okay, look, let's go. Went to the funeral. Upon walking in, I did not realize I was walking into a Catholic church. Like I don't think I was looking around, just didn't notice it. And I sat down, and like all the familiar things, like the callbacks, the priest says something to you, and it started happening, and it was like just reflective. Like I just started saying it back, and then I kind of went, and like 5 minutes in, I looked around and I was like, holy shit, are we doing a full Catholic mass? And like somebody beside me was like, yeah, well, they're doing a Catholic mass. And I had to sit through like an hour of a Catholic mass. And it was crazy how like, A, I remembered all the things I thought I forgot. It all came back to me. But B, being like 25 years removed from going to church on a regular basis, like the whole time I was just sitting there looking around like, this is a cult. Like this is this is a cult. You don't realize it if you lived in it your whole life, but if you're someone, I'll bet even if you took a Baptist or a Methodist or anybody else and took them to a Catholic church for a Sunday, they'd be looking around like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like it's a different beast when you go to a Catholic church.
Yeah, it's the callbacks. It's very it's chanty. Everything's chanty.
It's weird. So anyhow, okay.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.